What's going on, everybody? My name is Frank Ellypsis, and this is the inaugural episode of a Pondering Poet series. So, what is the first episode going to be about? I decided to have the topic be my decision to make a vlog. So, why do I want to make a vlog? I wanted to make a vlog because there's so much going on in the world, so many thoughts that I have in mind that I would like to convey, certain topics that I would like to talk about or be able to introduce and get other people's opinions on, and be able to have, conversations about different topics that is good for us to be able to talk about. It's good for us to be able to, bring up, share, give perspective on, give details on. I know that I'm a consistent learner. If I will say I'm an autodidact, one to, self learn, consistent in self learning, in addition to me being college educated. Um, where for me, education is a big thing. I enjoy learning. I enjoy gaining knowledge. I enjoy, you know, imparting wisdom. I enjoy gaining enlightenment. There are many things I enjoy in the scope of being able to, one, help myself, but also help others think about several things when it comes down to any topic that there is a pressing need to be able to discuss. And I feel like being able to have a vlog introduces a lot of topics that we normally within, the masses, or, when it comes down to, regular human populace, we don't automatically think about, because we get so wrapped up in all, the details when it comes down to us being at work, when it comes down to, home life, being able to take care of your family, being able to, be within a consistently fast-paced schedule. And a lot of us deal with it, but sometimes it's good to be able to slow down and talk about various things that we wouldn't normally have within a conversation, not unless we had a particular catalyst to influence us in talking about certain topics. Another thing was I started thinking about my mindset on, for me, when it comes down to my journey in becoming what I would like to say a better Afrocentrist, um, having this Afrocentric way of thinking. Um, and at times in the past, I've called myself a Pan Africanist. I think by nature I'm a Pan Africanist, but I also want to be able to understand better how to be a Afrocentrist or Afrocentric when it comes down to the mindset, having a certain way of thinking that inevitably is for my people, but also having an understanding, of other people within the lens of being the best African I can be, more so from the aspect of ancestry, even though, even though I am an American because I was born in the United States. Now, with that said, I also feel like this blog can also be an avenue for influencing others to be able to write, be able to write their thoughts down, in the scope of, maybe having a journal, but also write their thoughts down in the scope of being able to convey those thoughts to others. Be that catalyst for helping others to be able to convey their thoughts in the most conducive way possible, but having a great sense of unapologetic honesty. So there's so many nuanced things that I've thought about in the scope of being able to create this vlog. And one of the biggest things that is going on in the world right now is definitely we're going through a pandemic, but specifically United States, race relations has hit a gigantic, anxious high, if I can say. Um, you have the pressing forward of the political group Black Lives Matter. And just to say, I agree with the idea. I agree with the idea of Black Lives Matter and everything. Definitely because I'm black, you know, of African ancestry, being within that understanding. But then also another thing is, um, there's so much that has happened to black people in the world, not just in the United States. Even though there is so many examples of atrocities that have happened to my people, have happened to black people. Um, we we I believe anyone of African ancestry we have an obligation to say something about it. Now, with that said, I agree with the idea. Do I agree with the organization? No, I don't, because of several reasons. One of the reasons I don't agree with the organization is because when it comes down to any donations going to the organization, where is that money going? In addition to the fact that we cannot say that Black Lives Matter is completely being ran by black people. In addition to the fact that there's so much hearsay going out about who is funding Black Lives Matter. One particular name that continuously pops up is George Soros, as far as funding Black Lives Matter. Um, and what is out there is obviously various stories that we all really don't know what to believe. Where my thing is the idea of Black Lives Mattering, yes. And of course, the counter argument out there, that has been put out there is, well, all lives matter. Well, if all lives mattered, then there wouldn't be a continuous destruction of black people, and that being an example of black lives not mattering within this world, more so within the states, which now on a global scale, the Black Lives Matter movement has become a universal idea. I would say that's one of the good things that has happened when it comes down to the push for the idea. But where is the organization going when it comes down to this idea? Where the biggest thing that I could see is, as far as the organization itself, you have not only black people, but you also have people from other races being a part of the organization, and marching, so on and so forth. And it's like questions pop in people's head. Questions pop in my head, where I think about, if you have others who are of, say, non-African ancestry, that are tying themselves to the organization, saying that black lives do matter and we need to do something about police brutality, about racial profiling, something needs to happen, right away about all of these things, then where were they during the times when the Black Lives Matter organization did not exist? Also, for me, there are a lot of actions that the Black Lives Matter movement does that mirrors the Black Panther Party of the 60s and the 70s. Where one of the biggest things that I've learned through my journey in, consistently being an autodidact is power trumps morality. Power has always trumped morality. A lot of times, power is exuded primarily in two ways. Power can be exuded through physical force, but it comes down to the aspect of war. And I definitely know about war. I'll probably get to that later on in another vlog, another episode. But either through physical force, essentially violence, or through finance, where those are the two biggest things that have pushed others to have a great sense of power. The two biggest things. Where a lot of times, often what happens is when one wants to exude power, they gather in numbers. They either gather in numbers and use their influence through being able to consolidate resources and gather their funds to be able to do with something that they don't like. Or they will use the aspect of force and violence to get rid of what they don't like. Where we've, as a black race, or, African brothers and sisters out there, no matter if you want to acknowledge or if you don't want to acknowledge your African ancestry, or if you even don't know about it, you're ignorant of it. We don't want to do things that inevitably really shows the power that we have. What we end up doing is always going the route of wanting to march, wanting to protest, and then through our marching and protesting, we end up having provocateurs who end up tying themselves in the efforts that we try to do. And then inevitably, what ends up happening is those provocateurs end up, rioting, looting, or essentially causing more, I would even say, not even causing more, starting certain levels of destruction within the idea that we need to convey on a global scale. And that's bad, because through us continually trying to exude a sense of morality, it has always been trumped with power. And that power is either through funds or through fighting, either through force or through finance. So that's also another aspect that definitely, sporadically within different episodes I'm gonna talk about. Now, within the scope of poetry. The human voice is one of the most powerful things on the face of the earth. And for me, being the logophile that I am, in addition to pushing to always be the wordsmith I am, another moniker I wield is call myself the wordsmith Ronin. I want to be able to change mindsets. I want to be able to change lives through the scope of knowledge. And definitely also I want to influence others to be able to have their voices too. So also this vlog would be a platform for conveying different ways of being able to have a sense of self-expression because we need it, especially during this time, especially during the time of unrest that we have. So, with that said, this is the start of a long relationship with speaking on the real and being unapologetically honest about various topics that need to be brought up. That's why this vlog is necessary. With that said, I'm Frank Ellypsis. Take it easy.